channel. I know it's been a while, but welcome back to Vegan-Nette Life. I wanted to come on today to do a video. I wanted to make some pancakes and waffles to put in the freezer to have as part of my breakfast probably this week into next. For the waffles and the pancakes, I'm going to use the Vicky Cakes Short Stack collection, the strawberry shortcake pancake and waffle mix. So of course I was trying to think of a way to doctor it up. You know, I'm always adding something to a recipe. So I had got 4 pints, I guess it would be, of strawberries. Aldi had them on sale for 99¢, about maybe 3 weeks ago. So I got 4, and I froze those and put those in the freezer. So I decided that I would take some out. I'm going to cut the tops off of those, and I'm going to mix those up in my blender bottle here, and I want to blend in some fresh strawberries into the batter. So in my brain, that would just be really, really good to accent the strawberry shortcake flavor of that mix there. I usually make the whole container. That way I just make them, I freeze them, and they do very well. Just heating them up in the microwave real quick for a little bit, or either in your toaster oven. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I showed you the strawberries and the mix. I have to add in a tablespoon of avocado oil. This is getting low, so it's almost out. I usually get this large bottle from BJ's. It's their Wesley Farms brand. So I've got that. Of course, we're gonna add in pure vanilla extract. And you can use whatever plant-based milk that you have available, but I made a jar of hemp seed milk, so I will be using that as my milk. And then as my egg replacer, you could either do 1/4 cup of applesauce, or you can make what we call a flax egg, and that's just using ground flax meal, which is just ground flax seed. You use 1 tablespoon to 3 tablespoons of spring water. I use spring water, but 2. So it has like a congealed type consistency, like an egg. So that's what that is nearing. So that's my egg substitute. I also decided to add in some protein powder. I have the plant-based protein for women by women. The brand is Tone It Up. It's the vanilla unsweetened. It has 15 grams of protein per serving. It is plant-based. It is non-GMO, and it is dairy-free. And this is a Black-owned company, which I do try to support. I got this container at Ross. The label is still up there for $16.99. So I'm going to add in a scoop of that into the mix, just to add some extra protein to the mix that's here, because it's only 2 grams of protein that's actually in this version of doing the Kodiak pancakes. I think that's the protein pancake mix that you find in most of the stores. So I'm just going to kind of do my own version of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to pour this whole container in here, because we're using a full container. And we need 1 cup of non-dairy milk. We need 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, 3 tablespoons of water, and 1/4 cup of applesauce or egg replacer. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and add in wet ingredients first. So I need plant-based milk and water. And I did make the vanilla hemp milk. I decided to flavor this when I made it. So it's gonna have that double dose of vanilla because I like to add extra vanilla flavoring to my mix itself. So I'm pouring that in. And I'm just looking at the directions to make sure I get all of this in correctly. 3 tablespoons of water. Okay, I almost got the exact amount of water that I needed. And we need, oh, it's not any vanilla flavoring that is calling on the actual recipe. That was just what I wanted to add. So I'm gonna add a half a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring since I already have some vanilla in my milk. I'm not gonna add quite as much in there. Also need a tablespoon of oil. And you can, another good oil to use is grapeseed oil, but you can use the oil of your preference. But just keep in mind that if you're using canola oil, that is definitely not a not a good oil at all health-wise. I highly recommend avocado oil or grapeseed oil. You could do coconut oil as well in here. See, if I'm not doing a video in a while, I didn't have anything prepared and I thought I had everything I needed. So I'm just gonna mix this together. I'm not gonna over mix it because with pancake and waffle mix, you want to mix just enough to combine it. So at this point, make sure you can see it. It's still got a little bit of lumps in it, which is what you want. And I'm just slowly almost folding it in with my whisk because I don't want to over mix that. So the next thing I need to do, which I almost forgot, is add in my flax egg, as we call it in the vegan community. That is our egg substitute. So that's an option you can use when you're baking and you need an egg. And you can also buy, I think Food Line may have it, but I know Sprouts and Whole Foods has a brand by Red, I think it's Red Meal, probably saying it incorrectly, but he makes a product that's just called egg replacer. It's a powder that you mix in with water and you can use that as an egg replacer. I think it's with tapioca starch or something that's part of the ingredients on that. At this point, I also need to add in, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of my chia seeds. Make sure you can see that. That's going to give it some extra protein and nutrients with that as well. And I'm going to add in 1 scoop, which is 1 serving size of my protein powder. Don't want to over mix this. So I'm just going to kind of fold that into the mix. And if it happens to get a little bit too thick because of adding the actual protein powder into it, you can always add some extra plant-based milk to thin it out to your consistency of how you like your pancakes. I like my pancakes kind of thin but fluffy. So this is what your batter is looking like so far. If you can see those chia seeds in there. It's kind of thick but not too thick. And now I just need to blend up my strawberries. And hopefully these have thawed out enough for me to cut these little tops off. So I'm just gonna blend these down a little bit into like a puree. And then I'm just gonna add that to my batter. Got home, I did wash them in white distilled vinegar and baking soda. That is how you can clean your produce. So just kind of get your a large metal bowl, fill it up and put you about a tablespoon of white vinegar and I guess maybe a teaspoon of baking soda. I just kind of eye it. I don't technically measure it, but I was just trying to give you some type of measurement to start with. I'm gonna go ahead and put the top on this and just blend this up. I just added in the strawberries that I had blended up. I will suggest that you have your strawberries completely thawed so that they kind of blend a little bit better in your mixer or your blender. So it's giving it a little bit of a pink streaking in there, if you can see that. So we're gonna have strawberry pancakes. This would be really good to top off with some fresh strawberries, as well as I like to get the coconut whipped topping. That's really good. Speaking of coconut, I think I might add some into my batter. I keep thinking of things I can use up. So I think I'm gonna add in some of my coconut flakes that I had in the cabinet. That'll give me an opportunity to use that up when I was talking about that. That ended up being a good idea. I'm always trying to think of a way to incorporate things that I have in the cabinet, because of course I'm not using coconut all the time. So as I was talking about the whipped topping, I just had a thought to add that in. I think that'll be good. And then also you, along with topping your waffles or your pancakes, you could just do like toasted coconut with fresh strawberries and coconut whipped cream. Oh yeah, that'll be on point. I don't have any of the whipped cream, but there was just a thought of just some suggestions of just some things that you could do to it. Of course, you can always add, I do a lot of glazed nuts where I just put walnuts, pecans, whatever nuts I have on hand, and a little bit of vegan butter, and just heat those in the pan using some coconut sugar or a little bit of agave or maple syrup to caramelize and make like a little sticky glaze with the nuts. That would be good to pour on top of it. So it's a lot of things you can do to kind of spruce that up. I don't like to eat, I will eat things plain, but if I can think of a way to make it fancy, as I like to call it, I will definitely do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this area off over here, and then I'm gonna move over my griddle and my little waffle maker, and we're gonna go ahead and get some of these started. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So we're getting ready to get this started. I've got this little mini waffle maker. I think I ordered it from Temu for like $9 or $7. But I'm making the mini waffles in here. So we're gonna try to do this at the same time. And then I've got my regular griddle here for my pancakes. So we're gonna put this on about 350 to heat up. The butter that I'm using is the Country Crock plant-based butter with avocado oil. So that's the butter that I'm using to cook with. And I've got this little pancake mix dispenser. I think it's so cute. I love kitchen gadgets. So this I think I got, I think I might have got it like at Lidl or Aldi over there where they have, you know, like a regular little, I guess you call it house stuff or clothes. There are little sections of just items that's not food related. But you just pour your batter in, and then it's a little lever that releases the batter from the hole in the bottom. So you kind of can control the size with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I've melted some of my vegan butter, plant-based butter, and I'm just putting some oil on my waffle plate. And I'm gonna go ahead and oil my grill. I hope I'm not splattering this all over me. But I like to use my vegan butter to cook stuff like my pancakes or waffles. And I just like that flavor, kind of accentuated with that. I just think everything tastes better with butter, so to speak. Even when I'm fixing pancakes or French toast for my husband and I'm using regular butter, I'm just cooking everything in that because the flavor just gives it more of a richer taste. So for the waffles, I think I'm going to use this 1/4 measuring cup and see how that goes for that part. I was going to separate the batter, but I decided not to because it's all about the same consistency with that. So I've got the little waffle cooking there. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of the batter into my container, and I'll show you the waffle once it gets finished. So hopefully this turns out well, the way I have it in my mind anyway. So I'm going to do about half pancakes and half in waffles. So we're going to start with that and see how that goes. So I've got the mix in there and just put the top back on. Well, I can tell you I've already got waffle mix oozing out the side there. Let me see if I can turn you guys around a little bit to see that. So my little waffle maker is there and it's cooking. Well, hopefully those will turn out fine. I've got this on 350. It's smoking a little bit. I better turn that down. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dispense strawberries are getting hung in there, so they're getting stuck in that hole a little bit. Okay. So let's see here. Oops. I don't know how well that waffle is going to do. We may not be able to do any waffles. I think it's already sticking. may just end up doing all pancakes. We'll see if I can get that waffle out. If not, we would just let that be a test one. And I'm just going to make pancakes with the rest of the nets. All right. Yeah, that didn't turn out too well as being a waffle. I think the batter just might have been a little bit too soft from everything I added in there. So we're just gonna kind of discard that one. It just kind of tore up a little bit there. I guess I could keep it to the side, put a little syrup on it, eat it. But we're gonna go and toss it. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make pancakes with the batter. That's what we'll do with that, as I had originally planned. And I'm going to turn you guys back around a little bit. Okay. So these, of course, turned out very well. So that's why I said, had in my head one thing, but I think what I will do next time is make separate waffle mix and pancake mix. I should just split the container. That way I could have made the waffles with a little bit more thickness to them, because that batter I think was a little bit too soft with everything that I added to it with the strawberries. And you also have to keep that in mind when you're adding additional items and something that has extra liquid in it, like the strawberries. You have to be aware of that when it comes to the other liquids that you're already adding to it. And these turned out real soft and fluffy. But yeah, I think those look very good. So I'm just gonna end up freezing them on the cookie sheet just like this. Once they're frozen, then you want to put them in your Ziploc bag, and that way you can pull them out individually without it being stuck together. So I'm just gonna put these over on the stove for now. And we're gonna come back over and finish up doing the rest of our pancakes. So that's what we're gonna do. That batter's a little bit too soft for waffles, and I thought it was, but I said I'll at least try one to see. And that's not gonna work for that. It needed to be a little bit thicker. We're getting ready to go ahead and do our next batch of pancakes. There we go. But I know these are gonna be good with that fresh strawberries added in there. I know that's gonna be good. And I'm just putting about 5 on my griddle. I could probably do 6, 3 on each row, but I just want to make sure I've got enough room for them to spread. So once these are finished, then I'll go ahead and brush a little butter across the top of those as well. So when I actually get ready to heat them up, the butter is already on them, so to speak. All I need to do is just add my warm maple syrup to it, any toppings that I may want to add. If not, these are perfectly fine the way they are, since we have strawberries and coconut in the batter. So we've kind of got our toppings already on the inside, so to speak. From 350 down to about 325. And I had these on 300 just now. But looking under the underside, it wasn't cooking as well. So normally when you do pancakes, just like with these, but I think because they're made with wheat, it just cooks a little different. You don't have to wait as long for it to bubble on the top. Usually once bubbles start forming, that's your cue to go ahead and flip. For me, I'm being very mindful to check underneath before I flip, because like I said, when I'm using a griddle, the temperature kind of goes up and down. I don't want them burnt, but I do want them to be brown enough. And these are looking good. So, oops. So, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and fix these up. It was so much easier when I did the other batch. I made them all up. I was just making me some for Sunday breakfast, and the last container that I had. And I said, well, let me just go on and cook them all up, and then I can just freeze them. They worked very well in the freezer. When I warmed them up, they were tasting just like I had made them, so I was fine with that. And of course, you know, they've got frozen pancakes and waffles in the store, so why not, you know, just make up a batch and freeze them. That way you've already got it. It's convenient with saving you time. You still can, quote unquote, have a hot breakfast. I'm gonna probably fit some of my rice paper bacon with these. I'll do my best to try to film a video of that when I get ready to make that, so you can see how that turns out. I love that as my bacon now. I've done bacon with carrots, trumpet mushrooms. Those are the two that I personally have done. There's several recipes out there, but I like the rice paper bacon the best because it's thin and it's crispy and it just has that flavor because you're putting a marinade on it. The rice paper is the wraps that they use for spring rolls when you're getting Chinese food or Japanese food. I don't know which or both, but it's for spring rolls. And it's just a wrap that they use. So that's what the rice paper is. And I ran across that recipe and thought I would try that out, and I love it. So that's the way I will be doing mine from now on. So these are almost finished, but they are so light and fluffy, and I love a nice soft fluffy pancake. So I'm gonna add those to the pan. See if I can get these moved up some. And this will save me some time because I don't have any breakfast already prepared. And I've been about to avocado toast myself to death because that's something that I always keep avocados on hand. I love, love, love avocado. And avocado toast is my favorite breakfast to have with that. So this is the batch so far. I think you can see it. So we've got 3, 6, 9. We've got 10 so far. So I think I'll probably get maybe another 3 or 4 out of that easily. So it pretty much made what the container said it would. I think I'm actually gonna be able to get a few more, but that's probably because I added the protein powder and the strawberries to it. I'm sure that kind of stretched the batter a little bit. But I'm just brushing some butter on my grill pan here. And we're gonna get the last of our pancakes. We might get another 5, but we'll see. Okay, and at this point, I'm just getting a rubber spatula to help scrape down the batter. Let's see. We're gonna that's going to end up being a little baby pancake. Let me see if I can get some more batter out of here. So we're going to actually end up having, I guess, 13 1/4. We're going to have about 3 regular size ones and then that little baby one there. So I'm going to probably do the little baby one as a sample and see how did it turn out. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And as soon as these 3 finish, I'll come back and do the sample on camera for you and let you know how it tastes. Okay, I'm back now. So the other pancakes are over on the stove cooling. I'm gonna let them cool. Then I put them in the freezer to freeze them. I got the little sample baby pancake that was up there, so I'm gonna do a little quick taste test. Of course, with my 100% organic maple syrup that I buy at BJ's. Their store brand of the Wesley Farms. So just gonna put just a little bit of syrup up here to see how this is gonna taste. So let's see here. I know it's good, it better be good anyway, because all this was in my head. Oh, that's really good. Especially with the strawberries that I added into the batter. That really made it really good. So, yeah, I definitely would suggest you guys making this. And you can actually just make it with regular pancake mix. Just add your strawberries and read the ingredients and make sure it doesn't have any animal byproducts in it. I think the Pura Milling brand, which used to be Aunt Jemima, is accidentally vegan. I mean, it's just made with wheat, but it's not any milk or anything added to the batter. So just read the ingredients if you're just getting a regular brand of pancake mix. Or better yet, just make your own. It's basically flour, baking soda, baking powder, as far as the mix go, and salt, and then you add everything else. But you can always pull up a recipe for homemade pancakes online or Pinterest. I use Pinterest app a lot. Highly recommend it. But just finished that. That was really, really good. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it won't take me as long to get another one out. Just been a busy couple of weeks. So I hope you guys will join me next time. Remember to focus on your journey and not your destination. And I will see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. Please leave me a comment. I would love to read some comments. And feel free to share this video with someone else. Thank you and have a great rest of your evening.